dog episode, who knows what. This is the podcast where I talk to myself on a train. And this is the episode where so there's this psychological phenomenon where if you see two images next to each other, you associate them in your mind. And I thought that was called touch inference, but now I don't think so anymore, so I'm trying to figure out what it's called. I'm just going to Google touch inference to see if I am in fact right. Swipe me what I meant. Excellent. Okay. Touch logger inferring keystrokes on touch screen from Unix. Action inference, the next best touch for model. Understands inferences, iOS app info. Okay, this is pretty stupid. Sure, it's not touch inference. Alright. Psychological. Oh, come on, swipe. You can do it. Psychological phenomenon where you associate juxtaposed Kuleshov effect. It is a mental phenomenon by which viewers derive more meaning from the interaction of ellipsis. Film editing montage effect illustrated by Soviet filmmaker Lev Kuleshov in the 1910s and 1920s. It is a mental phenomenon. This is definitely not it, but this is interesting. Mental phenomenon by which viewers derive more meaning from the interaction of two sequential shots than from a single shot in isolation. Kuleshov edited together a short film in which a shot of the expressionless face of Tsarist matinee idol Ivan something was alternated with various other shots: a plate of soup, a girl in a coffin, a woman on a divan. The film was shown to an audience who believed that the expression on his face was different each time he appeared, depending on whether he was looking at the plate of soup, the girl in the coffin, or the woman on the divan, showing the expression of hunger, grief, or desire, respectively. The footage was actually the same shot each time. That's neat. The audience raved about the acting, the heavy pensiveness of the mood of the forgotten soup, were touched and moved by the deep sorrow in which he looked on his dead child, and noted the lust with which he observed the woman. But we knew that in all three cases the face was exactly the same. Kuleshov used the experiment to indicate the usefulness and effectiveness of film editing. The implications that viewers brought their own emotional reactions to the sequence of images, and moreover attributed those reactions to the actor, investing his impassive face with their own feelings. Oh, well, that's not it. Let's keep looking. International Handbook of Psychology and Education, Film, Wikipedia. The influence of contextual framing on emotional attributions, classical sociological theory, Origins of issues, typifying contemporary social problems.
We're now approaching Ashley Station.
This one I can't read because it's not loading. A resin copy of Rodin's Thinker judged to be kitsch. Yeah, I guess it would be. Okay. Image association. Adjudication, that's good too. Association. Okay, any search for association probably is going to give me a bunch of associations.
Good afternoon. This is Ashley Station, and this is your Fremont-bound train.
Making connection between juxtaposed images.
Please stand clear at the door.
How to effectively use juxtaposition in your photos. Juxtaposition literary devices. Ways of reading. Advanced reading skills for students of English using juxtaposition to enhance your photography. Chinese theories of reading and writing. A route to hermeneutics. Oh, that's a word. Editing, Yale University. Okay, this is not it.
Please stand clear at the door.
So I'm wondering, like, if it's touch something or something inference, or if I'm just misremembering both words. Image, juxtaposition, inference. Juxtaposition of images. Learnerator.com. I guess let's flip through that. Darkness, 1889. Oh man, it's giving me a bunch of upgrade choices. I don't want to upgrade. I just want to see this page. Okay, this is just like a quiz. Literary terms, interpreting moving images. Okay, I'm not interested in, like, it seems like the only people who talk about juxtaposition are people who are learning about things. I guess that's what I'm doing, but I meant it in a derogatory way. Psychology, phenomenon, touch, infected inference. Values of psychology and human development, the human intellect, its introduction upon psychology and the soul, perception, interference theory.
Because of maintenance being performed the trackway around the Lafayette area. This is a pre-lockdown train. We're now approaching MacArthur Station.
Social psychology, attribution is the process by which individuals explain the causes of behavior and events. Attribution theory is the study of models to explain those processes. Psychological research into attribution began with the work of Fritz Heider in the early part of the 20th century. Gestalt psychologist. This is phenomenology.
Good afternoon. This is MacArthur Station, and this is
the study
your
of subjective
free
experience. Well, this is a phenomenology. It's a phenomenological phenomenon. So that narrows it down. Being in the world. Image, juxtaposition, fallacy. Maybe it's a fallacy. No, juxtaposition examples, and this is one of those things where Google just ignores one of the words in your search. It literally is, like, all it is juxtaposition. Okay. Oh, here's a Yahoo Answers. What is the meaning of the word juxtaposition? In logic, juxtaposition is a logical fallacy on the part of the observer, where two items placed next to each other imply correlation when it's none that is actually claimed. That actually is, like, really close to what I am looking for, but logical juxtaposition, logical fallacy, questionable cause, false dilemma, logically fallacious juxtaposition, and the Alicia cycle. Questionable cause, concluding that one thing caused another simply because they are regularly associated. The logical form, A is regularly associated with B, therefore A causes B. Example number 1. Every time I go to sleep, the sun goes down. Therefore my going to sleep causes the sun to set. Explanation. I hope the fallacious reasoning here is very clear and needs no explanation. Oh good, it's a argument from obviousness. That always works. Example number 2. Many homosexuals have AIDS, therefore homosexuality causes AIDS. Explanation: while AIDS is found in a much larger percentage of the homosexual population than the heterosexual population, we cannot conclude that homosexuality is the cause of AIDS any more than we can conclude that heterosexuality is the cause of... Isn't it, though? Isn't heterosexuality the cause of pregnancy? I don't think this website is very convincing. Exception: when strong evidence is provided for causation, is not a fallacy. Variation: the juxtaposition fallacy. Okay, so now that we've already established this website is not good, I'm going to read this text. The juxtaposition fallacy is putting two items / ideas together, implying a causal connection, but never actually stating that one exists. It's funny how whenever you are around, the room smells bad. Reversing causality or wrong direction is just what it sounds like. It is still a false cause, but the specific case where one claims something like the sun sets because nighttime is coming. Alright, I'm not convinced. orderofstpatrick.org. Logical tricks. Oh man, that's this website is from like 1995. There's an up button. I'm gonna go up. Oh man, the road to Christian maturity, practical sanctification is needed to defeat the sin nature, how to forgive, healing the traumas of the past, the covenant service form from Reverend John Wesley, St. Patrick's effective church model, Karen up, you've got a pastor, be nice to your pastor, discernment, dealing with evil, the 5-front war we are fighting, why I stopped following Buddha and started following Jesus, the cultists are demonizing the world, what to do about it, when is the rapture going to occur? Okay. Juxtaposition. I'm going to keep searching for juxtaposition fallacy. Here's an angel fire site that's going to lay the smack down. Logical fallacy, methodological error in a process of reason. Appeal to ignorance. Anonymous authority. Appeals to anonymous authority. Argument by emotive language. Begging the question. Common sense. Okay, where's juxtaposition? Juxta. There's a joint effect, but there's no other J fallacy. Not invented here. Juxta. Forming, grooming, good. Forming connection between unrelated images. Principles of abilities and learning. Gee, that sounds like creative thinking in Leonardo da Vinci. Tracking creativity. Technology for creativity. The creativity is the art of forming interesting connections between previously unrelated elements. Perfect memory training, 3-dimensional geometry and topology, principles of abilities and human learning. That's not it. Psychology. Phenomenal. Illusory correlation. Gestalt. What is Gestalt? Gestaltism is a theory of mind from the Berlin School. The Gestalt psychology tries to understand the laws of our ability to acquire and maintain meaningful perceptions in an apparently chaotic world. The central principle of Gestalt psychology is that the mind forms a global whole with self-organizing tendencies. The principle maintains that when the human mind forms a percept or gestalt, oh good, so it's the name of the It's in the name of the School of Psychology and also the thing you're forming. The whole has a reality of its own, independent of the parts. The original famous phrase of Gestalt psychologist Kurt Kafka, the whole is other than the sum of the parts, is often incorrectly translated as the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and is used when explaining Gestalt theory and further incorrectly applied to systems theory. Kafka did not like the translation. He firmly corrected students who replaced other by greater. This is not a principle of addition, he said. The whole has an independent existence. That's actually really interesting. In the domain of perception, Gestalt psychologists stipulate that perceptions are... How do I pronounce Gestalt? Am I getting it right? Oh, good. It's giving me IPA, which I don't know how to read. Good. Gestalt. How do you... Alright, I'm clicking on the IPA thing. Yeah, okay. It's good. Gestalt laws are used in user interface design. The laws of similarity and proximity can, for example, be used as the guide for placing radio buttons. They may also be used in design of computers and software for more intuitive human use. Examples include the design and layout of a desktop shortcuts and rows and columns. Gestalt psychology also has applications of computer vision, trying to make computers see the same things humans do. Quantum mechanics, criticism. They're being descriptive rather than explanatory in nature. Yeah, that's probably true. Apophenia, the experience of perceiving patterns and connections in random or meaningless data. I thought that was pareidolia. Unnatural acts can improve your thinking.
Good afternoon. This
Cognitive
is
psychology and
City
cognitive neuroscience.
This is your free club out train.
Psychology, intrusive images and psychological disorders,
Doors are closing.
cultural psychological analysis of emotions, juxtaposed, jpeg.org, juggles, good, thanks. Juxtaposed images, in the things, juxtaposed images. I can't figure out what this... I'm going to start over. Psychological phenomenon. Oh, it auto-completed. It's like, oh. Okay. It auto-completed is something I already searched for. Here's the Kuleshov effect again. Into the unknown. The influence of contextual framing on emotional attributions. Associating unrelated images. Pair by association. Ooh. In psychology, pair by association is the action of associating a stimulus with an arbitrary idea or object eliciting a response, usually emotional. This is done by repeatedly pairing the stimulus with the arbitrary object. Okay, this is related as well. For example, repeatedly pairing images of beautiful women in bathing suits elicit a sexual response from most men. Advertising agencies repeatedly pair products with attractive women in television commercials with the intention of creating an emotional or sexually aroused response in the consumer. This causes the consumer to be more likely to buy the product when presented with a similar product without such an association. See also conditioning association. Association in psychology refers to a connection between perceptual entities or mental states that results from the similarity between those states or their proximity in space and time. The idea stems from Plato and Aristotle, especially with regard to the succession of memories, and it was carried on by philosophers. No wonder I couldn't find this word, because searching for association on Google gives you, like, association as in organization in almost every case. Associationistic theory.
Lake Merritt Station. This is your Fremont bound
That's
train.
conditioning, operant conditioning.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
Implicit association. See also association of ideas, comprehension, conditioning, halo effect. Halo effect is a cognitive bias in which an observer's overall responsive impression of a person, company, brand, or product influences the observer's feelings and thoughts about that entity's character or properties. It was named by psychologist Edward Thorndike in reference to a person being perceived as having a halo. Subsequent researchers have studied it in relation to attractiveness and its bearing on the traditional and educational systems. The halo effect is a specific type of confirmation bias where positive feelings in one area cause ambiguous or neutral traits to be used positively. Edward Thorndike originally coined the term referring only to people, however, its use has been greatly expanded, especially in the area of brand marketing. Yeah. A person's attractiveness has also been found to produce a halo effect. Attractiveness provides a valuable aspect of the halo effect to consider because of its multifaceted nature. Attractiveness may be influenced by several specific traits. These perceptions of attractiveness may affect judgment tied to personality traits. Physical attributes contribute to perceptions of attractiveness, weight, hair, eye color. For example, someone who is perceived as attractive due to part of physical traits is more likely to be perceived as kind or intelligent. The role of attractiveness in producing the halo effect has been illustrated through a number of studies. Recent research, for example, has revealed that attractiveness may affect perceptions tied to life success and personality. In this study, attractiveness was correlated with weight, indicating that attractiveness itself may be influenced by various specific traits. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for, but that's interesting. Association of ideas. Our mental association is a process by which representations arise in consciousness, and also for a principle put forward by important historical figures to account generally for the succession of mental phenomena. It is used mostly in the history of philosophy and of psychology. One idea was thought to follow another in consciousness if they were associated by some principle. The three commonly asserted principles of association are similarity, contiguity, and contrast. Numerous others have been added by the 19th century. By the end of the 19th century, physiological psychology was so altering the approach of to the subject that much of the older associationist theory was rejected.
We're now approaching Fruitvale Station.
And that's the end of the line, because here we are. And I did not find the name of this thing, so I'm just going to keep calling it Touch Inference. So, thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.